DreamWorks Animation presents Captain Underpants!
Are you worried about impending doom? Those evil villains got you filled with gloom. Don't you fear there's a hero in...
Listen. When I snap my fingers, you obey my every command. You gonna like, you gonna share, and you gonna subscribe. And after this, Captain Underpants is gonna be your next favorite superhero. If it wasn't already, you're gonna be your next favorite superhero. Let me explain why. Listen, name's George Beard, best friend Harold Hutchins, met each other in preschool, been best buds ever since. Not a game, straight face, had sleepovers, best time. I love me some Saturdays. See, me and him, we are two very overly imaginative pranksters who spend hours in a treehouse creating comics. Guess what the comic book company is called? In a treehouse. Guess what? It's called Treehouse Comics with an X. See, now we are not Treehouse Comics anymore. We are Treehouse Reviews. Because that's what this movie is. That's what this video is all about. It ain't a comic book. It may look like a comic book for a couple of frames in this video, but it ain't a comic book. And this is not a game. This is not a fantasy. This is not a dream. This is real. When our mean principal, Mr. Krupp, threatens to separate us into different classes, and y'all been there, don't act like you haven't, but the mischievous boys, myself and Harold, accidentally hypnotize him into thinking he's a ridiculously enthusiastic, incredibly dimwitted superhero named Captain Underpants. How do we know it's him? Because he said the catchphrase that we wrote. He said it. He done said it. He said the catchphrase. He was like, tra-la-la. And I was like, yo, Harold, this thing didn't work. Between preschool and 4th grade up until now, this has got to be the best prank we done ever done.
Like that tiger?
Oh yeah, that tiger was crazy. Let me explain why this is a big deal. Based on the worldwide phenomenon written by Dav Pilkey that your children's or you used to read in elementary school, 4th grade preferably, the Captain Underpants movie series serves the elementary, middle school target demographic well. You see, here's the thing. Regardless of whether they have been diehard fans or just the average grammar school prankster, this movie, the Captain Underpants movie, by Dav Pilkey, distributed by DreamWorks Animation, should resonate with your child. The best thing about the Captain Underpants lore is how it is truly made to entertain and supplement the goofball within. Because regardless of if you were a class clown or the poor and unfortunate bookworm like my boy Melvin over here sitting in the corner talking about I don't get it at every joke, these novels and our favorite 4th graders, me and Harold, can resonate with anybody. We used to be that you were either two types of kids in 4th grade. You were either like me and Harold, or you were like Melvin, who sat there talking about, I don't get it, and you were the present kid. You weren't here, you weren't her, you were present, and you made all them straight A's. And everything was just perfect up until you were grown. Then, the first epic animated adventure comedy adapting the ultimate Underoos will make you want to give yourself a wedgie for wasting time sitting around for not reading a single Captain Underpants comic in your entire middle-aged life. Don't make me laugh. Don't try to correct me. Middle school, middle age, same thing. I feel that although the fictional hero is meant to appeal to children ranging from 1st graders to 8th graders, anybody can relate to the shenanigans of being either the victim or the victimizer of immature toilet humor that inspired the creation of Captain Underpants. Case in point, Captain Underpants, George Beard, Harold Hutchins, Melvin Sneedly, etc. Captain Underpants novels that ran from 97 to 2015, and in 2017, DreamWorks Animation adapted the first 4 novels into a film with the main plot revolving around myself and Harold turning their principal, Mr. Krupp, into Captain Underpants, thinking he's a superhero. Now, if you're an adult that hasn't read nothing, you'll just say this is some drunk principal dressing up in his drawers with a red cape around, trying to think he can save the world and all that. But this leads to the first as a way to keep them from being separated. This, of course, leads to the first of many adversaries, Professor P. Don't ask me what the P is for, you already know. If you want to know, let's roll that clip.
Watch where you're going! You just hit Professor Poopypants! Poopypants? That's not funny!
At the convenience of having a real source material, it was easy for DreamWorks Animation to make a film out of any of these 12 issues. Not the 12 deadly sins, but the 12 novels. But had they tried squeezing later adaptations into the mix of what was already taking place, all while introducing Captain Underpants to the general public, into the children of Gen Alpha, or Gen Beta, whatever y'all like to be called, that may have never read a single issue, it would be quite an untidy movie. It would be dirty, it would be musty, it would be funky. It's a movie I wouldn't want to show my kids because it's messy and it's filthy. It'll just keep telling them it'll keep encouraging them to do the same thing that daddies do when they babysit the kids, and we just sit around the couch and listen for things. There were Easter eggs and references here and there of the subsequent issues for the diehard fans to spot, but it was wise for them to keep the plot simple enough to newcomers and nostalgic readers alike. The animation that is drawn verbatim to Dav Pilkey's animation style or illustration style with the simple black dots and the outlines and the tiny bodies. I mean, you got the actor with the tiny body, grown little man, playing a grown little man, playing fourth grader with a grown black man voice. How is that possible? I don't know. These things happen and possible in animation. All things are made possible with animation. The imaginary imagery in the off-the-wall animation choices help to cater to the taste of the younger demographic, and I happen to love this choice following some of the same imagination in Boss Baby. Only born Boss Baby at this table, and he's black, and he's a grown little man, and he's somebody whose pain that you will be laughing at all day. This is seriously funny, y'all. Seriously funny. Not a game, straight face. The voice acting is not to be flushed down the drain for being spot on with kids like Kevin Hart, Thomas Middleditch, and Jordan Peele. Yeah, I said it. Get out. Oh, no? You want to stay? Okay. All killing it with the kiddie voices. I mean, anybody else in the crowd listening to Jordan Peele talking like Melvin, and all you hear is Megan from Key and Peele? Yeah, that was me too. Bet money you didn't hear Megan from Key and Peele when you heard this man, Jordan Peele, talking over the mic for the character Melvin Sneedly.
Put that in my pocket. Extra credit, it feels so good.
While there's an 87% chance that you won't fall in as a result of this movie being so good, the Captain Underpants movie stays faithful to the source material by taking at least one element from each novel and compiling it into a truly family-friendly epic with the experimentation of signature 2D animation and cartoon sketch illustrations. The wacky imagination, kitty toilet humor that absolutely does work, because in the context of a character like Captain Underpants, duh, you're gonna have toilet humor. It wouldn't work with anything else, with something that's like not meant to be made for toilet humor, but throwing it in there for the sake of it as opposed to throwing it because it fits with the character who's literally inspired by toilet themes and toiletries and the overinflated stakes that come with it. I'll say it deserves 92 issues of comics out of 100. I'll make them comics any day. But that is all that George Beard and Harold Hutchins have to say. Until next time.
Tra-la-la.